The fourth feature of our constitution is the center with strong federal structure. India is formed of different states and union territories. Union territories is governed by president, whereas different states are governed by chief ministers. So in all, India is formed of a union of union territories and states. That's why it is termed as federal, because in earlier days before independence there were so many princely states, and each princely state was termed as federal, or a particular kingdom, an area. That's why federal is used. But now it's all union of states termed for India. That's why in India the government that is formed in state is state government, and the government that is formed in union territories like Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman, Diu, Lakshadweep, Puducherry, Lakshadweep, Puducherry, Andaman Nicobar, Ladakh, and Jammu and Kashmir are governed by president, that is by the central government. So here the union of states and union territories defines the structure of India for different types of government to regulate and govern in different areas. And the each of the responsibilities of the union, that is union territory, and the state government are well defined. And in order to define the responsibilities and activities to be handled by state government and union government, there are three different types of list. This list are union list, state list, and concurrent list. So union list is composed of 97 subjects, and these subjects are related to national importance like defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy, banking, railway, communication, post, telegraph. Second is state list. So state list is made up of 66 subjects. That means 66 different types of activities. They are important based on state legislature house and law subjects like law and order. It also deals with different activities like agriculture and irrigation, health, land, interstate trade, commerce. If there is failure of the law and order in the state, the union government, with consent or against the will of the state, can be sent to reserved police force. The third list is concurrent list. Now there are some of the responsibilities that are shared between union as well as the state government. So this list includes 47 subjects like civil and criminal procedures, marriage and divorce, education, economic planning, trade union, etc. That means there are certain activities that are to be conducted in both the union territories as well as the state, and they are set of criminal and civil rules regulations of marriage and divorce, educational policies, taxation and fining of income tax, trade union, that is related to rules of business and planning. So third list deals with both the activities responsible to state as well as to the union. Another is residue power. The residue power are those subjects that are not allotted to either union government or to the state government, and the central government is responsible to regulate these residue powers. These residue powers include excise and custom, export import, income tax. All these major taxes are decided by the central government, while sales tax, revenue tax, entertainment tax, educational tax, and other financial taxation details are decided by the state government. Now we are having fifth, unified arrangements during crisis. Fifth is unified arrangement during crisis. Crisis can be natural or man-made, and based on that, or during such type, when natural calamity or famine or natural disaster takes place, at that time, who is responsible for governing all the states and union territories? Yes. So such type of calamities and man-made activities that causes crisis at that time, central government holds more power than the state government, and that's why central government handles all this type of situations like national emergency or emergency caused because of law and breakdown, that is any particular or in any state the government is dissolved. So at that time union government comes in front and takes control over such situation. So central government holds more power than the state government, as the central government is headed by president. Also at times when there is much differences in the prices and different monetary value is slowed down, at that time also central government comes and regulates the position. During such emergencies or law and order breakdown, or during increase in prices of certain goods, central government is given the responsibility to administer and manage the overall India, irrespective of state or union territories. India has a parliamentary type of governance. It means that the law formation is done by the organ of the government, that is legislature. So legislature is formed by two different houses, and that forms parliament. That is the upper house, that is Lok Sabha, and the lower, sorry, the upper house is the Rajya Sabha, and the lower house is Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is headed by Prime Minister, whereas the Rajya Sabha is headed by the President. Now, legislature means the regulating body that forms rules and regulations, and it is also formed of the representatives of the people. There are 12 members that are nominated by the president for Rajya Sabha, and these 12 people are experts and experienced of their own various fields. And Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, whereas Lok Sabha is a temporary house. And in Rajya Sabha, every 2 years, one third of its members are retired. So the powers of Rajya Sabha are less compared to Lok Sabha, which is special, superior, and decisive. Rajya Sabha cannot be completely dissolved. Seventh feature is independent and impartial judiciary. Our constitution has defined a well formed and well organized judiciary system. Judiciary system is a system that punishes the people who do not follow the rules and regulations that are formed by the legislative assembly. And in India, The judiciary system has different types of courts. The highest court in India is the Supreme Court that protects and safeguards the fundamental rights of the people of India. For each state, there is a high court, and at district level, there are district courts, and at taluka level, it is taluka court or trial courts. There are certain scenarios whereby if there is a conflict between union and state government, matters related to interpretations related to constitution and its status, high court decision is the final decision. Sorry, Supreme Court decision is the final decision. So Supreme Court is the protector and guardian of the constitution, and Supreme Court is not based or related to any of the legislative assembly or executive committee. It is independent and impartial. Eighth feature is amendments in constitution. As we already stated that Indian constitution is not rigid. It is flexible and dynamic. So if based on people's perspective, aspiration, faith and belief, there are certain changes required to be made in the constitution, then they are adopted and the changes are made in the constitution in order to safeguard people and citizens' interest. In India, constitutional provisions can be amended in three ways. First, amendments can be made by simple majority of members present and voting in the parliament. It means if a change is required, then the majority of the members are accepting that particular change, then that change can be adopted in the constitution. Second, certain amendments require special majority, that is, two-third majority of members present and voting. If certain rules and regulations are to be changed in the constitution related to, say, emergency, fundamental rights, then that time special majority is required. That is, two-thirds of the people of the parliament are required to cast their vote in favor or against the amendment. Third, concerning union state relations, special majority, that is two-thirds, and the concurrence not less than 50% of the state legislature is required. So if there is any change related to the union and state relation, that is related to the concurrent list, then special majority of two-thirds is required, means two-thirds of the people of the parliament should accept the proposal of the change to be made in union and state relationship, and not less than 50% of the state legislature is required. So if there is any amendment to be made in the constitution, then the people of the parliament and special majority is required for the change to form into an amendment in the constitution. In short, no rule or regulation can become a bill without the consent or without the majority of special without the special majority of the people of parliament. Ninth feature is universal adult suffrage. Universal adult suffrage means any adult of 18 or above 18 years has a right to vote for choosing his representative during any election of parliament, legislative assembly, or local self government, and there should not be any discrimination in terms of education, property, and economic standard. 10th feature is secularism. As we already stated, that any Indian citizen has the right to choose and select its own religion that he prefer. In the same way, state also do not interfere in the religion that is followed by an individual or group of people. That means all people of the state are treated as equal and they can follow the religion of their choice. For effective working of the state and union, judicial review is one of the chief characteristics of the constitution. It permits both the state and the union government to work within their prescribed norms and regulations. Example, we know that whenever we purchase any product, then we get a bill. And at the end of the bill, there are some terms and conditions which states that if the following terms and regulations are not met, then the offense will be punished as per the jurisdiction of, say, Kutch, as per the jurisdiction of Bombay, whatever place it is regulated. So, this is judicial review and it helps the union and the state to work within the rules and regulations that are prescribed by that particular jurisdiction area. 12th feature is fundamental rights and duties. Our constitution has defined the rules that are rights and duties for citizen of India in a very vivid and well organized manner. There are certain fundamental rights that are allotted to citizen of India, that are right to vote, right to speak, right to freedom, right to live, and one of the most recent is right to education. As per this fundamental right to education, any Indian citizen of 6 to 14 years had right to learn, to speak, and to read and write any language of his interest. That means any person or any child of 4 or 6 to 14 years should be able to read, write in any one language. So, these are some of the fundamental rights that are given by the Constitution. At the same time, there are certain responsibilities that particular citizen has to follow. That means rights and duties go hand in hand for the development of any nation. 13th is directive principles of the state policies. Constitution provides the state responsibilities to perform different welfare activities concerning the people and the subjects living in that area. 14th is provision for backward sections and tribe. India is a country where different types of people live. Say scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, other backward classes. All this forms Indian citizenship. So, for the upliftment of the nation, it is compulsory that these backward classes are not neglected. Constitution has given them equal right to prosper and to get well education, and they are not deprived of any of the fundamental rights that are given to other high levels of the society. To promote these backward classes, government has sanctioned different schemes to give their children education and other welfare activities and other discounts related to make them self-sufficient economically as well as socially. I hope that this particular session of constitution formation of India will help us to understand how the constitution is formed, what are the different features of the constitution, what are different fundamental rights and duties of the citizen, and how it can be useful in order to create law and order in the society and to make Indian citizens better citizens. And the nation can develop only with a strong constitution. I hope you would have understood all these things. Thank you and have a wonderful day.